My name is Kelby Werner, and I'm the intern here at White Bear Lake United Methodist Church. As I've been working here, I've had the honor to meet and chat with a lot of the people who work and worship here. And I'd love if you join me on some of these conversations as me and a few of your fellow church members discuss church history and the church's mission. White Bear Lake United Methodist Church has a rich history here in White Bear Lake. And as I stand here right next to the original outside walls of our building, it got me wondering about what this church's history really is, and what happened, and how did we get here? And so I figured that there was no better person to ask than one of its founding members. So today I'm going to be sitting down with Marilyn Olson, and we're going to be chatting about the church's history, and she's going to be talking about how the church evolved from starting in living rooms to where it is today. Enjoy.
I'm Marilyn Olson, live at Waverly Gardens Presbyterian Homes, and I'm being interviewed by our intern, Kelby, find out some more about the church's beginnings.
Yeah, and actually that segues nicely into the first question I have for you. What was church like when it first started?
Well, my husband and I were among the 13 families that started it, because there was no Methodist church in White Bear. Some of us were going to Matamidi, biggest group, and a good-sized group came from Hamlin Church, which happened to be my home church. So I knew some of these people already.
And where did you meet?
When we met as a church, we started out by meeting in people's homes on Sunday evening, an assortment of people. And then in July of 1962, we met at what was the old theater, and that's where the bank is now. And that didn't work real well, so soon we were able to meet at the Masonic Hall on Stewart in White Bear, except for 2 Sundays a month when they had their pancake breakfast. And so then other churches were very nice to invite us, Presbyterian Church, Christian Church, to meet with them, be part of their choir those Sundays. And there was a group called the Methodist Builders in St. Paul, part of the district, that helped us acquire our land. And we got the whole big plot, which was empty, from Highland back to Linden. And so then we started building. I think our first service was in December of 1965.
Yeah, so how many years was it between kind of the first 13 families to actually having a plot of land?
1962.
Okay.
We first had our first Sunday meeting summer of 1962, and our first in our new building December 1965. So that was pretty quick.
Yeah, that is pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I guess since you've been here since the beginning, how have you been connected to the church? Like, what ministries have you been a part of?
Well, we both sang in the choir for not quite, but almost 50 years. My husband, after he was an engineer at 3M, and he's been on assorted building committees, et cetera, including the last big one. But after he retired, he became a master gardener. And so he was responsible for a lot of the landscaping to begin with and keeping it going.
So all those gardens around the church? That was
partly his, yeah.
That's so cool. It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
They've been keeping it up. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've been president of the UMW. Twice. Actually, I was the first female lay leader back when we had lay leaders. So both of us were obviously not only charter members, but quite active through the whole bit.
Very involved.
Yeah.
Your time as kind of the lead of United Methodist Women, what was that like?
Well, I grew up in the church, in Hamlin Church, and it was WSCS then for the women, Women's Society of Christian Service. And then that was the daytime for the non-working women, and then there was another one, I forget the name of it, that was the working women, that they met at night. And most churches had both. And so when we started meeting every month as a women's society. And then people started wanting circles, which is the smaller group. Well, it was obvious that we couldn't do both. So we started the circles morning, afternoon, and evening every month, 10 times a year maybe. And then the Women's Society got down to 5, started out 5 and soon was 4 times a year.
Yeah, and this was at White Bear Lake?
Yeah, this is all after we started our church services.
Yeah.
So the women got in there right away.
What traditions from the start have stayed to today?
Music has always been very, very important. Choir, started a choir right away, and well, what do you do for a director? Well, there was somebody that sang that could do it, and hired a pianist that had some funny parts to it too. One of the original members, his father was a bishop over in North Dakota, and we had a person that would come for choir practice, but she wouldn't come on Sunday. She couldn't, and so we had a different pianist on Sunday than he had for practice. And I think it was the first Christmas that things didn't gel too well, and the bishop wasn't in church that Sunday.
Well, thank you for sitting down with me.
Oh, you're
I
welcome.
really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed our conversation just as much as I did. If you have any further questions about the church's history or its mission, or feel called to get involved somehow, please feel free to contact us. Also, to keep up to date with all things White Bear Lake United Methodist Church, be sure to follow us on our socials and to check our website. So with all that said, I hope to see you next time.